So, good morning, everybody. Dr. Nakul Parashar, Director Vigyan Prasar. My very close friend, Dr. Manoj Pateria. We have worked together for 30 years in science communication. And several, I think he's witness to many of my achievements. Dr. Bharat Bhushan, Dr. Rashmi Sharma, all the team of officer. I think it's a great honor for me to be here with all of you. And it's always a pleasure moment to share something because I closely work with Vigyan Prasar, also in CSTC, also NISCARE, where Dr. Manoj Pateria was the director. And Dr. Pateria and myself, we traveled together not only in India, but abroad many times and twice under his leadership as the part of Indian delegation to Brazil and Nepal. There are several stories. So today I'll talk to you on role of visual media or the sign tools in science communication. So first thing is, it's very interesting what happens. I request you all, please put off your microphone in mute mode. Otherwise, many times what happens, the children are fighting in your house and it is audible. When Dr. Patel was speaking, there was some conversation. And this is not only for you, it's a warning for me also. So suppose I'm giving a lecture and here is my wife and you can see you can read what I have written in Hindi, but I can translate in English. She says, hell with him if he's online. Webinar, I'm fed up. Facebook, WhatsApp is not enough. He is not a new addiction. For last 2 days, there is no wheat flour in the house, but she forgot that he is online. So what happens, this is my very important few slides. I request again to please put off your mic. There's a lot of audio disturbance is coming. Only then you can enjoy. Please. It's a humble request to all of you. Please see your microphone is mute mode. See, when you attend the scientific lecture, most of the time, this is how exactly what happens. After some time, and then now nobody sleeps. People are very smart. What they do, they take out their mobile phone, they finish from WhatsApp to Facebook to everything. And the speaker is very happy. Everybody is silent, listening to him very carefully. But reality is something else. They are not there with you, but they are busy in their own words. So that's how, I was a scientist in a very premium institute of India of CSIR, and that is Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow. Many of the time I find renowned scientists, very great speaker, very nice profile, portfolio, but when they come to the presentation, it is all something which goes above your head. So I realized what is the problem. The problem I found is the communication gap. Suppose a person is there as the expert of nanotechnology and he is talking to biologists. He forgets they are not physicists in front of you who are sitting today. And then, frankly speaking, when you listen to any lecture, you decide in the first 5 minutes whether you will be listening to it or simply what happens in webinar, you put off your mobile, this video mode off and just quickly walk away. So what to do now? So here history starts. This is the country called Singapore. And 26th May 1988, the first lecture of my life, which I delivered there in National University of Singapore. You see my topic was very boring, development of drugs and pharmaceutical industry in developing countries. I thought, who will listen to my talk? So in the meantime, as a scientist, though I was in drug research, mostly I was developing drugs for various diseases in CDRI, but I had a hobby of making cartoons because of some happening. And that time, as Dr. Pateria was telling, he was director in NISCARE, if you know very well, Dr. Pateria. Science Reporter was published that time from NISCARE, that time called PID. So I used to send cartoons to them regularly. Every month, 4 cartoons were published. So I thought cartoons are liked by not only the kids, but many of the prime minister, president all over the world. Why not to use cartoons in my lecture? So when I selected those cartoons, I found them like Maggie sauce, it's different. They are different, they are cartoons. At the same time, they are providing scientific information, concepts, data, latest results in a very simple way, in a very understandable way, and in a very interesting way. So I thought, why not to give them a new name? So I thought of a name called Sign2. That means a fusion of science and the cartoons. That day, I remember I was terribly nervous. And the only person who was there to witness this, I meet him now, former Drugs Controller General of India, Dr. G.N. Singh. That time he was a research fellow. So what happened? I was so nervous, I forgot, and chairman said, "Finish your lecture in 10 minutes." I was gone because I had made the lecture for 1 hour. What to do now? So I remember all the gods and goddesses in Singapore. And then I thought, let me start with the fast speed. The moment the chairman gives the bell, I'll stop. So I started and I finished. When I saw the watch, it was 1 hour. And then chairman said, "I'm sorry, I forgot to give the bell because the lecture was so unique and so interesting." And that's how unknowingly this was a historical day. I coined a word called Scientune, and this lecture gave me the first international award of my life. So from here, the journey starts. And now, what are the Scientunes exactly? Scientunes are the cartoons which are based on science. They not only make you laugh and smile, but also provide information about new researched subjects, data, concepts in a simple and understandable and interesting way. In Scientune, no, there is one thing called scientific information on the left-hand side. Then comes cartoon, like a caricature, and then what cartoon speaks is satire. So I'm very happy. I remember I was giving a lecture at DST, and Dr. Manoj Pateria introduced me to the Minister of Science and Technology that time, that the concept of Scientune is the gift of India to the world in the area of science communication. Thank you, Dr. Manoj Pateria, because I always, wherever I delivered lecture around the world in all 5 continents, I use that slide with your photo to show the people. So here, I want to tell you, suppose I have to deliver, it's very famous, my cartoon I made first time in USA. Suppose I have to give a lecture on malaria, filaria, dengue or something, which are parasitic diseases. So I must first tell what is a parasite. If you don't know the parasite, you cannot follow what is parasitology, you cannot follow dengue, malaria or anything. So here, as you know, the parasites are the plants are it depends on others for their survival. And the study of parasite is known as parasitology. Now here comes a cartoon. You can see these cartoons are drawn by me only, and it is the Department of Parasitology. You can see here in this dish there are some parasites which are found in our body. Entamoeba histolytica, which causes blood dysentery, Ascaris, roundworm, flatworm is Histenia solium that is found in pork, and it can grow 5 feet long in our body, in intestine. Now all these parasites are talking to you. They read carefully what they are talking. One of the parasite, Histenia solium, is telling, "See these scientists, they exploit us for publishing research papers, getting PhD, attending seminars, visiting abroad, and still they call us parasite." Who's the real parasite? Not the parasite, but we people who get PhD, who get foreign fellowship and all that. This my Scientune was published in a magazine called Chemistry International from New York, and it was on Brownian movement. Brownian movement, all of you know very well, the zigzag movement of the particle in a suspended fluid medium. Like suppose this is a bottle and the particles are moving, so they are continuously moving. So here is a professor, driving his scooter, and he was stopped by a policeman, and policeman says, "This is not your lab. And remember, professor, you are a human being and not a particle to follow Brownian movement on the road." So I delivered lecture on 30 different topics, from nanotechnology to DNA technology to glycobiology to mass spectrometry to science communication to parasitic diseases, several areas, So one of the areas is the lab safety. When you work in a scientific lab, you have to take certain safety measures. So one of them is electrical safety. So what is important here, if suppose there is a one socket, you cannot attach too many plug points. If you attach, because scientific instruments, they consume a lot of electricity, and there can be a short circuit, heating will be there, it may catch fire. So it is always advised not to use many plug point in one socket. But see the argument here. The research scholar is telling the scientist, "Sir, please allow my reaction also to be connected to this point." It is a very lucky point, sir. All those who have put up reaction using this point are postdoc in USA now. So you can imagine, how can you say no to it? So that's a very simple way how I can make, I used to deliver entire lecture on safety to my research scholars in CDRI and teach each and everything, in a very simple way. But what was the problem? Dr. Manoj Pateria knows very well. It was very difficult for me to get the concept of SciToon accepted in India. Nobody was ready. Everybody used to make fun of me. I'm a cartoonist, but they used to make fun of, you are a scientist in drug research. What the hell you do? You make cartoons. So I learned one basic thing. If we have to be accepted in India, you must be accepted abroad first. So I started sending my work to American Chemical Society, International Biochemistry, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, Sweden, WHO, UNESCO, UNEP. The list is very long, but I'm very happy that within 1 year, they all accepted my concept as a new way of bringing science to the people, and that is called SciToon. So that was the biggest success for me. And can you believe within 1 year of the coining term SciToon, in 88 I started. In 89, the committee that gives Nobel Prize, Royal Swedish Academy, accepted my research paper on SciToon, and where I proposed that how best we can use SciToon in explaining the rules of chemistry. And this was to be presented in 32nd International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry World Congress held in Stockholm, Sweden. This was the only abstract with a cartoon which was published there. 8,500 abstracts, 40 Nobel laureates attending the conference. And here I propose what is Hund's rule. Remember, the electrons, they move around the nucleus in an orbital, and there are sp-df orbital. In s2 electrons can be there, in p6 can be there, d10, and then in f like this, 14. So what happens in p orbital? Suppose there are 4 electrons, so you cannot put 2 in first and 2 in second box, but there is a rule that these electrons will go singly first and then doubling will start. This is called Hund's rule. Now, to explain these rules, here comes a cartoon, and now this a professor has come with his wife to attend this international conference. And on the reception counter, there is a notice that allotment of double rooms in this hotel is based on Hund's rule, that the rooms will not be doubled till they are occupied singly first. So you can imagine what will happen. And I was very happy. I got letters from all over the world, that many scientists wrote to me, experts wrote to me that we can never forget Hund's rule in our life, So this was something very new. And then I made my website called SciToon.com, and I was very lucky that it was inaugurated by Professor David Black, former Secretary General of International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, IUPAC. He is from Australia. And this is the website. This was the moment. I'm very happy. I'm sharing with you what Dr. Manoj Pateria was talking. Thank you, Dr. Pateria, so much for all your kind words. This was the incident where Dr. Manoj Pateria was a witness. I started when using SciToons and delivering lecture all over the world, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari in India, from Assam to Gujarat, and from Australia to Asia to Africa to Europe to America. And after delivering 600 invited lectures on different topics, I thought, why not to coin this as a new science? So there was a African Science Communication Conference in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Dr. Pateria was there, I was there. And there, for the first time, I announced SciToonics is a new branch of science that deals with effective science communication using a novel concept of science cartoons called SciToons. I'm very happy it was accepted. And as you know, with the effort of Dr. Pateria, it got introduced to the MSc syllabus of many universities in India, and even in Brazil, they got ready to use this in their MSc level. Then we went to Nepal, they agreed. Australia, I got letter, and in B.Ed syllabus also, SciToon have come up. Now, latest is that many people are doing PhD in the area of SciToons abroad. So I keep on getting through into all the information. I want to tell you something very interesting, a very new way of science. Very exciting area that is called bio-inspired engineering. Using cartoons, you can learn where the science is going. This area called bio-inspired engineering is more latest than nanotechnology, I can say. Instead, I can say it uses nanotechnology to develop something. And here's the lady who started the whole concept. Her name is Janine Benes from USA. And she said, when we look at what the truly sustainable, the only real model that has worked over the long period of time is the natural world. She says when the first bacteria was born to this COVID-19, this nature has done a lot of R&D work in 3.8 billion years. So nature must have done a lot of changes, lot of adaptations, lot of R&D work. Why not to learn from nature? So that's how, this is also called biomimicry. That means how you mimic the nature. I also called biomimetics and bionics. And it is a new science that develops, studies nature's model and then imitates or takes inspiration from these designs and processes to solve the human problems. Now, all of you know that an ant can carry 50 times than its own weight. Can we do that? Suppose my weight is 70 kg. Can I even do 10 times 700 kg? Impossible. But if one ant can do, why not to learn from that? What is the power of the skin? What is the power of the muscles and develops? If we can decode the secret, we can develop superhuman beings. So here is a worm talking to this ant, and you can see on the top right corner, there is a scientist, and the worm is telling the ant, look, he's not simply watching us, he will learn from us and then make millions. It is high time we file patent for everything we do first. Biomimicry, as I told you, the human engineers and designers often look there for solution to the modern problem. That is now the latest I'm telling you. And now here, first example, how nature inspires to do wonderful things. Because of this bird only, today the bullet trains in the world are running. The name of the bird is kingfisher. All of you know very well. Remember, a lot of people associated with this brand. So what happened when the first bullet train was developed in Japan? It was called Shinkansen bullet train. It is the same bullet train which is coming to India and will be running between Mumbai and Ahmedabad. So what happened when the first Shinkansen bullet train was designed in Japan? The initial speed was approximately 300 kilometers per hour. And what to do now? Because when you do something, you have to take trials. So when the trial was done of this bullet train, it was to pass through 22 tunnels. And when the moment it crossed the first tunnel, there was a sonic blast, you can say. It was such a blast of the sound that people thought they will die. All the glass pans of the nearby building, they got broken up. And people objected to the government of Japan, stop bullet train, we don't want to die. Whole project was stopped. Now, what to do now? It was a big problem, but Japan was telling there is no country in the world which has got a train that can run up at 300 kilometers per hour. So few months passed, nothing happened, year passed, and then in the meantime, the chief engineer of the Japanese railway, one day he was watching kingfisher. And he was watching very carefully, he was a bird watcher, that when kingfisher makes a dive, 10 times suppose, then every time she can catch a fish. But not other birds you can see in the left side here, this beak, which is round, not sharp like the kingfisher. And here, this fish, many times, 50 to 60% time, these birds, they cannot catch the fish. So he got an idea and it clicked the mind. And what he did, he converted the shape of the engine of the bullet train like the beak of the kingfisher, and the sound problem was solved. Then 10% speed further increase and 15% reduction in the electricity. So now you can learn what made this a small bird to make the changes. Now you go to Japan, you go to China, there are in China hundreds of bullet trains are running and they pass in front of you, there is no problem. So this is one example how one bird, kingfisher, inspired the whole bullet train. Otherwise, bullet train would have not been here at all. Like the Concorde, if you know, the supersonic plane is no more today. If you go to the Charles de Gaulle airport in France, Paris, it is displayed as a model only because of the major sonic. This was another problem too. It was having a very high sonic blast. And number two, it was depleting the ozone layer. And third thing, there was a major accident. Now here in front of you, you can see this train. This is the present bullet train SC Maglev, and it runs at a highest speed of 603 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine? And here, this is the video. And this video, I'm sorry, it is not playing. Otherwise, I could have showed you, how the whole experiment they did. And then, yeah, might have seen how fast it has gone, So this train runs today between Nagoya and Tokyo. Now, another example, I want to show you here is a very small tree frog. See what this small tree frog can do. But I met a scientist in China. It was in Nanjing. I was invited by the government of China to deliver a lecture on the same area there. And I met that scientist who was a very young fellow, 40 years of age. What happened? His grandmother died because she fell in the bathroom and she was 90 years old. So hip bones were fractured. And what happened? There was no surgery possible. Some infection came and she died. So what he did, this person was very always thinking how to solve this problem. So what happened one day, he was watching a tree frog. Now see carefully, these tree frogs, they live in the rainforest area. They don't jump like the frogs in Delhi or in Lucknow, you know, but they walk like us. You can see the video, you can watch, and you see how they walk. And remember, in rainforest area, it is always raining. Most of the time, it is very slimy, very slippery, but this fellow never falls down. And this was the observation that clicked to that man. And what he did, he studied the limbs of this frog and he found, you can see on the top right hand side here, these are the grooves. So when he put the hands like this, you know, the water is going out and there are thousands of grippers in 1 square centimeter of this area of this frog, by which it can make a very sound, very firm grip in the on the surface it is walking. This gave an idea to that scientist, Chinese scientist, and he developed new shoes, chappals, and new sandals. If you use them, you never fall down. So you can imagine how a small tree frog changed the whole thing. And I'm sure when this kind of shoes and chappals will be marketed by the China around the world, they will have a very big market. Now you must have seen a lizard in your house, and we are all scared of the lizards. This is called gecko. Gecko is very similar to our house lizard, you know, typically. And you can see only thing is the belly is a little fatty of gecko. It is found in also in India, in Arunachal Pradesh. It is a very important lizard because it was smuggled to China, one piece 5 to 10 lakh rupees. What was the reason behind? Scientists discovered that gecko has the highest grip power in the world, which any animal has. And what happened? They discovered that it can walk, you know, if a 70 kg person, like suppose I am there, and with 700 kg weight, I can walk upside down on the roof. That is the grip power gecko has. So what they did, they studied the limbs and they found that in 1 centimeter area, there are 29,000 grip points. And they designed a gecko tape. So in future, when you want to put your LED on the wall, split AC on the wall, there is no need you drill it and everything. Just put the gecko tape, put your split AC, and then if you want to shift it, they just take it out the tape and put in the another room. So that's how one small lizard called gecko. I saw gecko in China, and I touched it also, the limbs, you know, where the power is there. So the gecko is telling to all of us, come on, Spider-Man. He's challenging that I challenge you. Can you compete with me? Because Spider-Man is an imaginary figure, but he's the real hero, far stronger, you know. And scientists also found the size of the hair of this gecko, which make the brick that is 200 nanometer. Another thing I want to tell you, all of you must have seen fire alarms in your office, in your building, And these fire alarms, why you put? Because in the night when suppose there is a fire, they can sense it and they can give an alarm, and it is attached to a security system. And then what happens there, the alarm is there, and you know that in this part of the building, fire is there, you can take all the control. The sprinklers are there, the water can be sprinkled up. But in one room, how much is the range of this fire alarm? Hardly 10 to 15 feet. But see, this is small insect. It can send 60 to 130 kilometers if fire is there. Why it can sense, because it is searching for the burnt surface for laying the eggs. The name of the insect is called Melanophila fire chaser beetle. And scientists now they are developing, trying to make new kind of fire alarms, and that will be one enough for entire Lucknow. You can see one only fire alarm rather than having so many at every 10 to 15 feet. So there are 70 thermosensors, below his neck, and those have the power to sense the fire even 130 kilometers away. All of you must have got the shank or the shell in your house. हमारे यहाँ जब कथा होती है तो आपने देखा होगा ना, शंख हम बजाते हैं. But did you ever see if you cut a section of the shank or the shell, it looks like the engine of the aircraft or the turbine engine. So scientists were studying, in the center, if you see very carefully, there is a slight twist is there, that can we do some change? Can we develop better engine? In the meantime, they got to know about another kind of seashells. This picture I took in Barcelona, Spain. I visited recently there, and they were there in the Science Museum. And you can see this structure. Now they are focusing on this latest design. Can we make improvement in the aircraft engine and the turbine engine? And second thing, this material which is there of this shell is also a nanomaterial. Nano deposition takes place, which is very, very strong, made up from the silica body, which is lighter also, strong also. So here is the shell, and his son is there. You can see on the right hand downside, and he's talking to his father, that if they design turbine engines of the aircraft based on our shells, then will they allow us free air travel? Now, all of us, suppose we buy a new car, and suppose you come with a new car in the night to your house at 11 p.m. Everybody is sleeping in the colony, so nobody can see you bought a new Honda City car with the latest 2020 version. So what happens in the morning? You go with all your polish and cloths to clean and see the whole surrounding, all your neighbors see. But the moment you reach, you find a little boy in your neighborhood, Chintu, has written A, B, C, D on your car window screen or on car bonnet. What happens to you? You feel like killing to Chintu, In the meantime, mother of Chintu comes and says, oh, he's a very naughty boy. And you say, no problem. But actually you think, let me meet Chintu, then I'll tell him. So here is the answer of this problem, The Mercedes car, I saw this car in Cologne in Germany. And this Mercedes have made the first scratch-proof car in the world, which is using ceramic nanoparticle, floating nanoparticle. And what happens here, the scratch will, of course, you can make a scratch, dent will be there. But the moment it comes in the sunlight, thus this paint expands and that covers the dent or any scratch you have made. The first scratch-proof car using learning from the nature. And what is the secret here? Remember, we get wound in our hands or leg when we are young. And after some time, it automatically heals up. So that's how they got the idea to design this thing. And here is the car telling, hi kids, how are you? Come and play on me. I was walking in the Rio de Janeiro. We were there with Dr. Manoj Pateria. I remember near the sea, in the rock, thousands of these seashells, what they call, I think, mussels, yeah. Sepia bolte jisko Hindi mein. These mussels were there, and thousands. First time in my life I saw that. I wanted to take one out of that, but it was impossible. And at the same time, the marine water was continuously colliding with that. It was pouring over whole seas, these mussels. Recently, scientists discovered how they are attached to the rock, and you cannot take it out. So the adhesive is so strong, which is not even affected by the marine water. So now they discovered what is the adhesive. So in future, when the surgeries will be done, you remember when you cut some organ, the blood comes out. That time, this adhesive will be used to join the skin very effectively. And second thing, you can see this is plywood, And plywood, there are several layers. They are glued to each other by using a chemical called formaldehyde, which is very toxic chemical. So in these cases, what happens? No more formaldehyde in the future. This glue will be there. So they are all these sea mussels. They are talking and they are telling, hi friends, get ready to help the surgeons in operation today. Now, can you believe? $10 crore birds die every year because when they are flying, they see huge glass panel like you see the T3 airport in New Delhi. Huge glass panels are there. We can see through that, very nice vision. You can see all around T3. But when a bird is flying, she is unable to see that glass is there. And when she collides with the glass, she dies. So this way, 100 million, 10 crore चिड़िया मर जाती हैं हर साल. The scientists were thinking how to save them. And they discovered one thing very unique, that what happened, the spider web, it is very unique. It makes UV refractive strands, and that is sensed by the birds, and bird can immediately avoid if any spider web is there. So based on this finding, they developed this glass, and you can see the lower part of my slide here. The left side has got certain mesh-like structure. So when the glass is viewed by the bird sees the glass like this. But to us, it will look very plain and nice, transparent, without any problem. So what happens? It is comfortable for us also, but the bird will immediately sense, no, this is not fully transparent. I can collide, so immediately she can divert. So learning from a small spider web, we are saving the life of the 100 million birds every year. Water crisis. See, this is the biggest problem nowadays we have in our country. What is the challenge here? The groundwater level is going down, down, down. This is the well in Gujarat. All of you know very well. If you travel in Saurashtra or Kathiawar region like Bhavnagar, Rajkot, any hand pump you drink the water, it is salty. So when the sweet water wells are there, the ladies and gents, they walk as far as from 20 kilometers to get the water, which is fit for drinking. So this is the situation in Nasik, Maharashtra. See this left-hand slide. These ladies, one slip and they are ending up with the multiple fracture, maybe death. What they are doing? Simply collecting water for their family. New Delhi Municipal Corporation. See, the fight goes maybe to many times in NCR. Goliyan chal jati hain for taking water, the mafia is there and all that. 2016, the Government of India Railway Department provided water in Latur, Maharashtra by train. And what is the challenge today? Can you believe 2 billion people today, they struggle every day for getting the drinking water. Forget about the pure water, it's only drinking water, which can be impure also, but 200 crore people, they struggle every day. What is the reason? All of us, use water in our house supplied by the municipal corporation. After that, it's through drainage go out of Delhi, out of Lucknow. So water level in our cities is going down, down, down. In Lucknow, in last 10 years, 30 feet water level has gone down. So you can imagine the situation in future. Many of the hand pumps are dry, submersible pumps are dry in Lucknow. In 2050, the figure may go as high as 700 crore people, almost equivalent to the population today of the world, will be struggling for getting the drinking water. It is also said, the next world war will be fought for water only sometimes. So here I want to show you 4 crows. The first crow we all read in our school days, very scientific tempered crow, scientific minded crow, who was very smart. The water level he was unable to drink, so he put lot of pebbles and water level came up eventually and he drank the water. His son was a convent student, so he thought, when I want to drink right now and then pebbles, you have to put whole for 4-5 hours. So let me make some innovation. So what he did, cold drink extra he brought, and he drinks water whenever he wants. The third one is the son of the second crow, and he got BTech from IIT Delhi. And this fellow thought, when my dad uses extra and he sucks the water, it goes to his lungs and then he's coughing. And people may catch him to that he has got corona. So what he did, he thought, let me do some more innovation. So he got a Tullu pump and he's taking the bath, enjoying. This is exactly where we are today, enjoying all the resources without caring for the nature. Now the fourth crow is there. He went from Delhi to America, got PhD from MIT in water management. He came back to Delhi, and then you can see the fourth picture is empty. There is no water in that. So his friend is asking, why you are not happy? Why you are so? The frog is asking the crow, why you are so serious? You are PhD, that too from MIT, USA. He says, what technology apply when there is no water left? And this is the situation we are going to face. I want to show you something, So here, this is a city in South Africa called Cape Town. Day 0 has been declared in this city. In this city, in future, you will be getting water like the petrol and diesel we buy. Why? The water resource reservoir has dried up. Luckily, this year some water came, so it has extended. But see, this is the real situation today. Many of the senior officers may be you can say top police or administrative officer, they queue like a common man to get the water because water is not there. And you see how they are struggling. And these are the future machines where you can get 50 liter per person water per day. That is Cape Town, South Africa. This is reality. All these pictures are real, no imagination. Now, I want to show you one thing. Very close to South Africa is Namibia. Namibia is a dry desert. And in Namibia, there is a very small insect called Stenokara. This fellow, how to drink water. So what he does in the night, he puts his body upside down and towards the ocean side. Because South Africa is very close to the ocean, Indian Ocean. So what happens? Stenokara putting whole body upside down towards the ocean. Why? When the air comes, the ocean waves come. The ocean air comes, what happens? Cool breeze, the water will be there in parts per million. That is absorbed by the notches-like structure you see on the body of this Stenokara. And why he's putting upside down? Because he thinks when in the morning he's releasing that water, it straight goes to his mouth. He should not miss one drop of water that he collects after doing a very long struggle for the entire night. Now, this is a very simple example, but scientists from Oxford and MIT, they studied this model. And these are the nanostructures, where it is absorbing the water. And what they did, they developed, in this order, the stamp was also released by Namibia. They developed a machine where you can collect 100 liters of water, even in a desert area when there is no water below, there is no water in the air. So even in that area, you can collect 100 liter in one night. So that is how, from a very small insect, we are learning to solve this problem. But I want to show you all our historical forts, palaces in India. The top left, you can see Taj Mahal, then Agra Fort, then below left side is Udaipur Palace, the right hand side is Chhatar Manzil Palace. In Lucknow, where CDRI was there, it was our institute a few years back. All these buildings, when they were made, remember there was no electricity. Did you ever see any record that, for example, the Lake Palace is a huge palace, that in one room when the king was moving in the daytime, it was so dark he fell down. Or it was terribly hot. When you go to meet any king, he's terribly exhausted, Why? Because they knew the nature's wind of the direction, the nature's secrets, and they actually air conditioned their building accordingly, made all their arrangements. Hawa Mahal, all of you must have gone to see in Jaipur. What we do when we see Hawa Mahal? We take out the mobile, take the selfie, and write on Facebook, enjoying vacation in Jaipur. Did you ever think why we call it Hawa Mahal? Hawa Mahal is the first building in the world which is air conditioned using air. Can you believe? Made in 1799, it has 999 windows. And all these windows, from outer side, they are big like this, but in the rear side, the back side, they are smaller. So what happens, there is a rule in science called, very simple, and that Venturi effect, that explains one thing. If you expand the air, it becomes hot. If you compress it, it becomes the cooler. So here, Venturi effect has been applied by the makers of Hawa Mahal, and where you can see all these windows, that time princes, queens used to sit and watch the procession of the Dashera and other important functions. They were not feeling hot because the air was allowed to flow using Venturi effect and compressing the air, so it was becoming air conditioned. But did we learn from Hawa Mahal? Answer is no. We are making now buildings, consuming billions of electricity worth, rupees. This is the backside of the Hawa Mahal, where the airflow was designed to go in a compressed manner, and that's how Hawa Mahal was very cool and comfortable. Now, this is another example how the technology was used in Akbar's time. Fatehpur Sikri was the capital of India at that time when Akbar was the king. So one Chinese ruler actually went to Akbar and he said, "You are living in this a very terribly hot area. You are the king of India. How do you survive here? Don't you think this is not the right place to live for you?" Akbar smiled and he said, I'll take you to my air-conditioned room. And where is the air-conditioned room now? So I remember I was a part of a high-level delegation to visit Fatehpur Sikri. And the director, as I told, that I was very curious, this room must be there. So you see the water here, 30 years before the water was not here, it was all covered. So what happened in the center, what you see is actually is a place where the guides tell you, the guide tells you actually what happens, that here Tansin used to sing, and the kings, the queens, the royal princes, they used to watch from the Panchmahaliya, the building on the back side you see. But actually, if you see carefully, this is structure, where my pointer is there, this is structure. That means this is top portion of something. So SI director fought with the government of India and asked him to allow the digging of this place. When digging was done, whole room came out, and then it was discovered what you see nowadays. Now, this room is in the center is surrounded by water, and this is second example how the water was used for air conditioning by Akbar that time. But did we learn from this technology? The answer is no. So one municipal corporation clerk went and he said, why we should not start charging water tax from King Akbar? From the back date, he was enjoying air conditioning without paying anything. Hong Kong airport, all of you must have gone there. Did you ever notice how Hong Kong airport learned from India and saves millions of rupees electricity bill every year? When you walk in the walkways, like in T3, you walk, when you enter in the departure lounge, right hand side, you go to the Air India, left hand side, you go to Jet Airways, Vistara, and all the airlines. See, in these walkways, you can see there are thousands of lights on there, LED lights. But see carefully here. What is here? See this place. So this is a bed like this, And what happens when the natural light falls on this, it is reflected on the either side. And in these pathways, there is no electric bulb is installed. So what happens, you save energy, electricity, and how they got the idea? They got the idea from India only. And you can see the shop, you can see the light, but not on the pathway. So learning from India, Hong Kong saves millions and millions of rupees of electricity bill. But we forgot. Recently, the new airports are coming. They are doing some change, like T3, you can see they're using natural light, but it's still lights are on, All of you, when you visit Lucknow, this is the place you can never forget to stop visiting. That is Bada Imambara. I tell you, this is more than 200 years old building. And when there was no electricity, there was no camera. Can you imagine? Lucknow gave the first color CCTV. I'll show you where it is. This is Shahi Bawli. If you come to Imambara, on the left, the moment you enter the left-hand side of the Shahi Bawli, and you go 5 floors down. And then there is a well here. In this water, I have seen myself, whoa, what is the movement 5 stories upward? In front of the Imambara, whatever movement is there, the image in color can be seen here live. So that was used for a security purpose also. By the Nawabs that time, the people are sitting here and they can signal any suspicious movement is there. So remember, we designed the first CCTV. I don't know how they have done it. I could not find the answer. But if we can study how the people who are moving 5 floors above the building, the image is become clear, colored movie image is being seen in this well. So that's how we did it, but we forgot to learn from that. I remember one of my nephew went to see somebody in a nursing home in Delhi, and what happened? He got infected by a bacteria, and 25 lakhs rupees was spent to save him. What happens when we go to see somebody like we are scared to even think of going to Corona ward, COVID-19 ward where somebody is admitted. So scientists discovered one thing very unique, that on shark skin, you can see the shark here. On this skin, no bacteria stays. And they studied, this is the electron microscope structure you can see here. They found this a very unique structure that never allows any bacteria to stay. So they developed called Shark-like technology, and making this surface, when you put same surface on wall and on the floor in hospitals, no bacteria will stay. I think in this COVID-19 pandemic time, this is a high time we should focus on this technology, cover our hospitals with this, making if some improvement is needed to deal with the COVID-19. And that's how we can ensure that infection will not further stay. I want to show you here pangolin. All of you remember recently when the discussion was there that how corona started from China, Wuhan market, if you remember. And they say they might have seen the videos, a lot of animals are being sold there as a meat part. The Chinese eat anything, you can see which is walking on the earth. So it was suspected that this COVID-19 virus started from bats, and maybe also pangolin was the carrier. Here is a pangolin in front of you. But what if you see the skill-like structure? Recently, scientists studied, and they developed, a bag like this, similar to this scale. And here the zip is not there. So the attachment, that uses for closing and opening, the magnets are there. So you can imagine from there how they have done it. It's a very nice bag they have done, you can put on your back very comfortably even from that. And there is a special bag they have designed for the ladies called Pangolina. So that's why here Mrs. Pangolin and the down, she's very angry. And Mr. Pangolin says, "Oh, come on, darling, not Pangolina is not my new girlfriend. It is actually a bag which has been designed by the people, learning from us only, nothing to worry." Now, another important thing I want to show you, we have the biggest challenge of cooling the buildings. When we are using air conditioners all over the world, including in India, you imagine one side you are getting cool air, on the back side it is terribly hot. You might have experienced, if you walk in a place where all the ACs, split ACs, they are on the back side, you cannot walk, it is burning almost. So scientists discovered this Texas horned lizard. What is unique about it, it has a very small capillary structure, and it can collect moisture in the night from the air. And then it stores the moisture and releases on its surface because it lives in the desert. And the body of this lizard is very cool and comfortable. So now this award-winning project, recently a group of the young scientists, they learned this whole thing, and they have designed new bricks. And these new bricks actually do the same thing. They catch moisture from the air in the daytime, nighttime, sorry, and daytime that same is released. So your building is naturally air conditioned, or you can say a green building, and you can save a lot of money and very clean technology, very green technology. Honeybees, all of us have been bitten by honeybees one or the other time in our life. And can you imagine the honeybee, the vision of the eyes is 300 degree. That means it can see 300 degree. Our vision is almost even 180. That is also we cannot see. So now what has been done, the Nissan company has got a Micra car, and they are designing view mirror, where you can see who is coming, when you are sitting in a car, driving a car, you can see in your view mirror who is coming from the back. So now they have developed almost also. I don't know whether they have come to India or not, but they have developed the view mirrors where learning from honeybees' eyes, that you can see in 300 degree directions, that who is coming from either side of your car, and you can avoid before he hits you. Second thing, recently the May 20th was celebrated as World Honeybee. Now, I want to share you one thing very important about honeybees. Experts said that if honeybees are gone, the humans on this earth will not survive more than 4 years. Can you imagine? Honeybees are so important. Another story I want to share with you. Recently, a scientist in Australia discovered when the hundreds of honeybees, they come back after collecting the nectar from the flowers, and they want to deliver it to the web. Sabte mein shahad unko wapas dalna hai. So the hundreds of them are coming. There may be a fight, they may collide or something, but they follow a very systematic rule. Who will be the first honeybee delivering honey to the honeycomb? So as a result, they have a systematic study, and that scientist, what he did, he found that he can design the traffic management at the airport. So, learning from honeybees, now the busiest airport, you can see Mumbai airport, for example, in our day, in India, you might have seen Delhi, go to Washington, New York, this Frankfurt. Every few seconds, the flight are landing, taking off. And it was sometimes very difficult to how to manage the crew. Many times I go to Delhi from Lucknow and 30 minutes we are flying because traffic congestion. There is no place for the flight to land down. Now they are learning from honeybees, and that scientist in Australia got the National Science Award for that achievement, that he designed this learning from a honeybee. So honeybee is selling, I don't want any IPR, but as a courtesy, at least say thank you to me. Now, I want to share you something very less about it's a big news for the COVID-19. See, we are scared now to go to any shopping mall. All the shopping malls, picture halls were closed. Metros are closed. Why? It's a closed system. If COVID-19 virus is there, it can travel among us, in a closed system, we can be infected. So, very recent report I am sharing with you, scientists have discovered that they have got a nickel foam, and if you pass that air, which is heat, through this nickel foam, which is heated at 200 degrees centigrade, in first passing, when the first passing of the air goes, 99.8% of the coronavirus, it is dead. Corona or COVID-19 will not survive beyond 70 degrees centigrade. So if you pass through this filter maybe twice there, and after that you do the cooling, the air which is coming to any shopping mall, which is coming to any airport, to coming any metro, will be totally clean, devoid of even anthrax, that anthrax-starting disease, the bacteria, Bacillus anthracis also will be killed. So imagine this is something, and I want to share with you another thing. They discovered titanium dioxide nanoparticle also, which are equally very effective in killing the pathogens when you pass through the air in a conditioner through nanoparticles of titanium dioxide. So I think these two things combined together can develop a system in the future where our hospitals, our picture halls, our shopping malls, our metros, our flight, our airports will be having a clean air devoid of any corona, COVID-19 or any pathogen, you can say, not only corona, clean air. I think this is a very important breakthrough. The University of Houston, America, scientists have discovered it. So you can see the two bacteria they are talking here. They are telling, bear this heat, but don't go near to any AC. My uncle was sitting in an AC without knowing that it has the latest catch and killer air filter. Instead of enjoying the cool air, he died in a second. जैसे हवा चली, बेचारे सोच रहे थे अब ठंडी हवा मिलेगी, बस हवा ही नहीं कि बेचारे ऊपर चले गए. So what happens, I want to share with you. Recently, I made few science on corona also, and just a minute. See, I have friendly advice to all of you through a cartoon. Wear a mask, cover your face and mouth and nose. Most of the people today, we are all scared. You see Lucknow, see Delhi, every day COVID-19 infection is spreading like anything. 300 per day people are getting affected with coronavirus, COVID-19 in Lucknow for the last 4 days. Why? First of all, people are not wearing masks. Even if they are wearing, they are not wearing the proper way. If the mouth is closed, nose is open. If the nose is closed, mouth is open. Or sometimes they put in the सिर्फ गले में डाल लेते हैं. Why? The police वाला fine न लगाए the moment they put it up. So you are not scared of the police wala, be scared of the corona actually. So first advice to all of you, whether you are living in any part of India, any part of the world, please wear a proper mask, multi-layered covered mask, and then cover your nose and mouth very carefully, especially with the nose here, you can grip so that it is perfectly covered, number one. Number two, all of you know very well, you are told millions of times, wash your hands. Why? Because when you wash your hand on any metallic surface, corona may stay up to 5 days. Plastic surface can stay for hours, So what happens when you touch anything unknown outside of your house in a shopping mall, or when you are touching a handle or something, or maybe you are touching a product, you can carry through by washing hands with the soap. or a sanitizer for 20 seconds. That is killed, and then you cannot get the infection. Keep social and physical distancing. That is very, very important. But we are not caring at all. And then discipline yourself. I think Corona pandemic taught us the most important thing, that be careful about you. If you're not healthy, in future you will not be allowed. If Arab Setu says, you are not safe, don't you think you can catch a flight in India? They won't allow. I think, to the best of my knowledge, because I have not taken any flight for the last 29 February. That was the last flight I took. So you have to increase your immunity. Why? Go back to the Indian culture. Chyawanprash, tulsi, giloy, lemon, ginger. I was recently giving a webinar for an international conference in Portugal. So they asked me, about the ginger and all these things. I said, ginger may be there in every part of the world. Maybe haldi or turmeric can be there. What makes India unique? We have tropical climate. For example, ginger, which is grown in Lucknow or in Cochin, will have different medicinal properties. So remember, even if in India anything is grown, the tropical climate, we are getting the best medicinal compound in that. So take these things, which we have forgotten, like Chyawanprash, Giloy, Tulsi, all of these things, each one I can talk for 1 hour giving a lecture. Giloy is something very, very fantastic thing, Ginger, divine medicine is called in Ayurveda, and very unique thing, ginger never kills your harmful bacteria, only it kills, not the useful bacteria. And then avoid unnecessary travels. If you are getting bored, don't just go to the market. Please don't do that. Practice yoga and regular walking exercise. Make yourself fit, and that is the time. This Corona has taught us that physical fitness is very, very important. If you're not fit, I think you're gone for so many other things you will lose. So here you can see. I think some problem is there. I don't know. But here you can enjoy the cartoon. Here the lady has gone to buy the mask, and it's a designer mask emporium. And masks for pets are also available. And the salesperson is very smart. He says, "Ma'am, we are using latest electronics and nanotechnology, and even artificial intelligence in designing the mask. It is a social distancing mask. What happens, if you are wearing a mask and anybody is coming closer to you, it will start giving signals, alarm. And the third thing is that it has Bluetooth, built-in Wi-Fi, and the last thing is that it will change automatically the color according to the sari you are wearing. So this is the latest, we are using it. I think I'll check what is the problem.
Sir, can you just close the screen share? Stop the screen sharing.
Yeah, sure. So it was almost decided they will die. One person was walking through that beach area, and he saw these starfishes. He thought they will die by the day, maybe 2 days, So what he thought, he took one starfish in one hand and then another hand, and he went up to 1 furlong and kept these two starfish in the water. Then again he comes back, take two starfishes, and then going to the water. Now he was one person, the starfishes over 1 lakh, but he was doing. In the meantime, one American Army helicopter passed. That American Army helicopter, the pilot and co-pilot was there. They observed the whole thing, and they were curious what is happening. They brought down the helicopter to ask that person what you are doing. He said, see, these 1 lakh starfishes, they will die. So I want to save them. He said, but how can you are one person, how can you change the life of these starfishes? You cannot change the world like this alone. He said, sir, when I take these two starfishes and I walk 1 furlong, put them in the water, it looks to me that these starfishes are telling to me, I have not changed the world, but at least I have changed the world of these two starfishes by giving them life. The co-pilot was very impressed. He went to the pilot and he told the story. Pilot said, you join with him. In the meantime, pilot took the flight to the nearest city, 30 kilometers away, and he made on television and FM radio that on the nearby beach, 30 kilometers away, 1 lakh starfishes are about to die. I request you all, please save them. Within 1 hour, 50,000 people, they reached there, and what happened? That how many starfishes were there? 1 lakh, and people were there 50,000. So if one person holds 2 starfishes, they are all saved. And as a result, what actually happened? Not a single starfish died, and all the starfishes got saved. Why? It was only possible because of the positive thinking and positive attitude of that first person who was thinking, let me do, at least do something, I can make a change. So always think you are never alone. You can make a change. Never ever give up. Remember one story in the end, 2 minutes, I'll close it. My time is about to over. That Swami Vivekananda said, when you do something new, people first what they do, they make fun of you. Then you further go ahead. What they do, they try to harass you. Even if you continue doing the good work and you are getting success, getting achievements, the third thing what he does, then he joins with you and he says, oh yeah, he's a great person, I am his friend. So what happens? Don't care for the first 2 people, keep continuing the good work. When I started Scientune, it's a very personal thing, because why I'm sharing, I'm very happy. 2 persons to whom you heard in the morning, both Dr. Nakul Parashar and Dr. Pateria, they are dictionary of science communication, not only in India, but at the world level, because I traveled with them around the world. So they have done something very miraculous. So what is my suggestion to you is that when you do something, people make fun of you, they make you upset, they make you down, don't care. Don't care. I remember there was an opportunity when I got a national award. It was in Kerala. That time, can you believe who was with me? P.T. Usha, Pankaj Udas, Sudha Chandran. And out of 10 people, nobody came to me. Nobody talked to me. Nobody took my photo. Nobody took my autograph. But I thought, I'm a scientist, so people don't know about my work. They don't know me. So I never cared. I started working the good work. And I continued my work. And then at the world level, this was accepted by the people. And at world level, I got international awards. And there was a time in America, I was receiving the Outstanding Young Person of the World Award given by Junior Chairman International in Puerto Rico. And can you believe 4,500 people from all over the world attending that award ceremony? And first night, I delivered my autograph for 2.5 hours non-stop. So never ever give up. If you are failing today, remember, failure is a part of success. If you fail today, that means a bigger success is waiting for you. Never, don't. Only secret of all the people who are the winner today, who are the leaders today, who are the achievers today is that they have never ever given up. So remember my words, never ever give up. Try to do something new. Don't be a copycat only. You can get inspiration from Scientune, but create something which people know that you are a creator of something and the whole world knows you. So I'm happy today the story of Scientune I shared, how I conveyed science in a very simple way, using cartoons. You can enjoy, you can listen. And one thing I want to tell you that today was I think again there's some problem. Yeah. So in the last, I want to show you something very funny on me. One of my friend asked me, what is webinar? So I told him webinar is actually a seminar conducted over the net. Very simple definition of webinar. Earlier, we used to go to different parts of the world, but I'm sitting now and giving a lecture in Portugal, which is listened by the people around the world. So in the last, there is a cartoon on me. Here I am. You can see carefully what is the advantage of giving a lecture from home. Watch carefully my dress, and I'm saying, darling, my webinar is over. Thank you, Bharat Bhushan ji. And I'm telling my wife, can I get a cup of tea, please? You can see the dress because you are working from home. You can enjoy that. So it was my 1337th invited lecture today. I keep on traveling around the world from all parts of the country, delivering lecture from school children to scientists, to doctors, to engineers, to army, to air force, to IAS, IPS, IFS, prisoners even. And because of this, my hobby, I travel around the world, and I'm very happy. So keep your hobby alive. Each one of you is very talented. Each one of you have got something. Know that potential, explore that, develop that, and be a leader in the world. Once you are a leader, whole world respects you. That's all I want to say to you. Thank you so much, Dr. Bharat Bhushan and entire team of Vigyan Prasad for inviting me to be a part of this unique program called Avasar. I'll be very happy to interact with you. And exactly on time, I have finished. 11:15 was the time, 2 minutes before I have finished. So thank you so much. If you have any question, you can ask me. But I'm very grateful for listening to this very thing. And it's the only tip of the iceberg. Several areas are there we can make science very.